The public pool closed at 10. Lights dimmed after. The water still. I stayed late. My turn to do the cleaning shift. Alone. The air smelled of chlorine and tile. My shoes squeaked as I walked the deck. Wide pool, deep end dark. The lanes were empty. No splashing, no voices. Just the soft hum of the filtration system. Low and steady. Ripples spread slowly. They reached the edges and came back, met in the middle. For a second, the water looked like it was breathing. I stopped moving, watched. Still again. I told myself it was just circulation, just the mechanics of the pool. I walked toward the locker hall. The old lights flickered overhead, buzzing. Then one bulb went out. The sound echoed too long. I turned to look. The pool reflected the ceiling, except one light. A reflection moved where nothing moved above. I stared. It slid away. Gone. My throat tightened. I checked the doors. All locked. The front gate was chained. No one inside but me. I told myself that twice. The deep end ladder creaked. Softly, metal shifting. I froze. Listened, but only heard silence. Then a drip. Water falling, but nothing hung above. No leak, just the sound. I stepped closer to the deep end. The surface smooth, perfectly flat. The dripping stopped. I leaned over and looked down. Blue faded into black. Too dark for the depth that it was. Something pale moved below. Slow. I jerked back. Heart racing. When I look again, there's nothing there. I only see my reflection, long and distorted. I forced a laugh out loud. It sounded wrong. Too thin. The filtration hum deepened. Lower than before. Almost a voice. I listened. The pitch shifted. It rose and fell, like breathing through water. I step away from the edge. The tiles felt colder now. The air too. I rubbed my arms. The lifeguard chair creaked behind me. A slow wood strain, as if weight had been applied to it. I turned. It rocked slightly. No one there. No wind. My stomach tightened. I walked toward it, each step too loud, echoing. I'm halfway there, then hear a splash from the deep end. I spin around, water sloshed against the tiles, ripples rolling outward. No one inside the pool. No shapes. No swimmers. Just waves. I back away from the pool, my breath shallow. The ripples slowed and then stopped. The water is still again. The hum returns to normal, like nothing happened. I say hello. The word died in the air. No echo. Pools always echo. I walk to the equipment room. The door is open. I was sure I closed it earlier. I stood there, not moving. The inside was dark, a thick dark. I reach in and find the switch. The light snapped on. Nothing inside, just pumps, pipes, valves. They hum louder here, vibrating the floor. There's a second sound underneath, wet and soft, like something moving slowly. I backed out of the room, shut the door. I can't hear the sound anymore. My hands shake. I told myself it was pipes, just pressure, normal noises. I walked back to the pool. The water level seems higher. I stopped and stared. It touched a tile it hadn't before. I was certain of it. I checked the drain markers. The line was wrong. Too high. I crouched. The surface trembled, tiny circles spreading, as if rain fell. But the ceiling was dry. Drops again, from nowhere. The circles formed shapes, almost letters. I blinked and they were gone. I stood quickly. Water lapped over the edge, just a little. A thin sheet spilling onto the tile. I stepped back from it. The puddle crept towards my shoe. Then it stopped. I waited. It didn't move again. Behind me, a wet footprint. I turned slowly. Another footprint appeared beside it, forming out of nothing, dark and shining. I couldn't breathe. A third footprint, even closer. I stumbled back. The prints stopped right at the pool's edge. The water sat perfectly still. No one climbing out. No ripples. Nothing. My ears rang. The lights above the pool dimmed. Not flickering. Lowering. As if something covered them. The room darkened slowly. The lights brightened again. My skin prickled. The lifeguard chair creaked again. I didn't look. I didn't want to see. Another splash. Closer this time. I shut my eyes. I opened them after counting to 3. The water was calm. The footprints were gone. The floor was dry. Nothing there. Nothing at all. I grabbed my bag, walking fast. Not running, not yet. The exit sign glowed red. I reached the door. Behind me, I heard a long sound. Not a splash, not the machinery. It sounded like a slow inhale, deep and wet. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I opened the door. Cool night air rushed in. I stepped outside and closed it behind me. The sound stopped. Silence outside. I locked the door, hands shaking. Through the glass, the pool lights were shining softly. The water was still, empty. Nothing was inside. I stood there a long time, waiting for movement. There wasn't any. Morning staff arrived at 6. Everything normal. Water level correct. Deck dry. No footprints, no puddles, no sounds. I never work the night shift now. Sometimes I hear dripping, soft, and I feel something watching from below the surface.